Hi, today we are going to make a cozy cat. It is getting cold outside and I don't know about you, but I just want to feel cozy inside all the time. What kinds of things make you feel cozy? Could it be a blanket? Maybe a cup of hot cocoa? Or a warm scarf? Well, today we're going to make a cozy cat picture. So for this project, you're going to need a piece of white paper. I'm going to use a black marker. I'm using a Sharpie marker, some crayons, and then I am going to use watercolors for my background. Remember, that's always optional. You don't have to use watercolors. I think they look really nicely in the background. I'm also going to try a cool technique using some salt. So if you want to try that, you just need a little bit of salt as well. So let's get started. We are going to start by drawing our cozy cat. So grab your marker. We're going to use the space of our paper. Remember, that's one of the elements of art. Let's go over the elements again. Line, shape, color, baby, color, form, value, texture, and space. So let's use our space. Not make a little tiny cat in the middle, but a nice big one. Okay, so we're gonna start by taking our marker. If you wanna do it in pencil first, remember, you can always do that, and make a little arc like that, right in the middle. And then we're gonna give it two pointy ears on each side. So two little triangle shapes. And then down here, about the same size, we're gonna make the bottom of the cat. So like a little smile down there. Now let's connect the ear to the bottom with a little curved line. And there is the head of the cat. Now we're gonna add a scarf, part of the scarf. So I'm gonna draw a little curved line down on both sides like that. And then a horizontal line connecting them. And then from there, I'm gonna make another little curved line all the way to the bottom. Just like so. Okay, let's add the side of the scarf, the little tails that are hanging down. Because this is a cozy cat. We're gonna put a little scarf on it to make it nice and cozy. Okay, so I'm gonna start by making kind of a little arc like that. I'm using my space over here, so hopefully you have your space. If you don't have space and it has to kind of go off the edge of the paper, that's all right. And then I'm gonna make another arc like that. So these are the two sides. Now you can decide, do you want like a zigzag end to both of them? You could do that. You do a straight end. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put one taller than the other side too, like that. And put some like tassels on the end. You could do that. Up to you. Maybe I'll put some even dots at the end of them. Maybe you just want a straight end with nothing on the ends. That works too. Okay, we'll be decorating that scarf in a little bit. Maybe I'm gonna put a little line here. That's my end. That'll just be space of the background. I think that looks a little bit better. Okay, let's add a face to the cat. So first I'm gonna draw the eyes. I'm gonna make my cat feeling so cozy. So its eyes are closed. It's so relaxed. So I'm just gonna do two curved smiles for little eyes. If you wanted to add some little eyelashes, you could. Up to you and your design choices. Then we're gonna add a little triangle nose in the middle. Two little circles on the sides. These are gonna be its little rosy cheeks because it's so cozy. And of course, some long whiskers on each side. It's taking shape here. Okay, next I'm gonna draw two little paws. So one is gonna be on one side and one is going to be on the other side. So let's start. I'm gonna put them kind of low because our cozy cat is gonna be holding something. You're gonna get to choose what it's holding. So we wanna have space for it to hold that thing that it will be holding. So I'm just gonna put a line and kind of making it on an angle and three little bumps for the paws. Okay, now our cozy cat is cozy, it's holding something. Something that it loves, something that makes it feel good, something that makes it feel cozy. What could that be? You can choose. It could be a heart. It could be some food of some kind. It could be a cup of warm hot cocoa or tea. It could be a blanket. It could be a flower or a little vase of flowers. You get to choose, okay? I'm gonna make a little cup of hot cocoa. That makes me feel really cozy. If I'm cold and I wanna warm up, that's what I like. So I'm gonna make my cup of cocoa and I'm gonna make, to do that, I'm gonna make like a long oval shape and then a curved line. Well, it's not quite curved yet, I guess. Straight more. Then, because we're gonna miss the curve here because it's gonna be where the cat's holding the cup, but I'm gonna add a curved line down here for the bottom of the cup, not like a mug, right? And then a handle, so I'll put a little curved line there and another curved line like that. And then we need some squiggly lines showing that this is hot. Put another one right there. Okay. Now, you can add whatever design you would like to your scarf. You could do polka dots, you could do stripes, you could do zigzags, you could do flowers. This is where you get to come up with some of your own creativity and design ideas. All right, I'm gonna do some big polka dots for my scarf. Like that. Cute. I think I'm gonna add another pointy triangle shape inside the ears for the inside of the ears as well. I think it needed that. All right. I am going to take my crayons next and I'm going to add some color. Now, you can decide what color you want your cat to be. There's so many different types of cats and cat colors. And maybe you'll even take some, I'm gonna do mine brown, but maybe you'll even choose some things like add some stripes. So maybe I'll add some stripes like this with one color of brown, like a darker color, and then go over the rest with a lighter color brown. Maybe it'll be, I had a cat growing up and it was all different colors. It was called a calico cat. So it had like gray and brown and black on it and white on it. All right, so I'm gonna let you get to work and let me get to work at coloring in my cat. I finished coloring in my cozy cat. Doesn't she or he look so much more complete now that it's all colored in? Okay, I always like to finish off a background too. So I'm gonna add a little snow to my background just to show that the cat is trying to be really cozy even though it's cool outside. So I'm gonna add some snowflakes to the background. So to do that, I'm going to draw a plus sign. You see that plus sign? Make it nice and dark so you can see. And then an X through that. Okay? I like to make the plus sign bigger than the X, but it's up to you. You can do whatever you want. So you can add a bunch of those in different sizes around your background. I'm gonna do them in blue, and I'm doing them nice and dark, pressing kind of hard. Oh, look how hard I'm pressing. I broke my crayon, I pressed so hard. Drew my X first on that one, no mistake. Got confused. And then I'm gonna add some in white as well. I keep doing my X first. You could do your X first and then put a plus through it, I guess. It works too. Let me see, maybe I'll do one more. Some of them could even be going off the side of the paper, if you would like. It's up to you. Okay, then I'm gonna add a few with my white. And that's a little harder because you can't see it. So we won't see it until I use the watercolor. Now, if you're not using watercolors, then I probably wouldn't do the white. You could just do your snowflakes. You could do your snowflakes in like a marker if you're not doing watercolor, and then color the rest of the background in crayon. That would make the snowflakes stand out a little bit. It's up to you. And then I'm gonna grab my watercolors because that's what I'm doing. But again, if you aren't using watercolors, you could just use crayon in the background. I'm gonna do a blue background to make my snowflakes stand out. So remember when I do that and I have that white, the white shows up because of the wax resist. So remember that the watercolor doesn't soak into the wax, so it repels it, so that's why we can see it. Now I'm gonna keep working on that. Remember, if you wanted to do watercolors and you don't have watercolors, I don't mean wanting to make your own watercolors, remember how I showed you that you can do that with markers and water. So you could do that too if you'd like. Or like I said, just use crayon in the background if you want to do that, if you need to do that. All right, I'm gonna keep working on this, and then when I come back, I'm gonna show you a last little finishing touch that I'm gonna do that's an option if you want to add a little extra flair to your picture. All right, I'm gonna keep working on this. Okay, I finished my watercolor background. That's what I was doing for my background. So if you did that as well and you want to add an extra little step, you need to do this while the watercolor is wet in the background. So if it's kind of dried a little bit, maybe just go over your background again with a little more watercolor so that you have some wet paint back there. And then you're gonna grab a salt shaker or some salt, and you're just gonna sprinkle some salt on those wet spots on your background. So what, this is a little bit of science here. So what this is gonna do is it's going to absorb the liquid. That's what salt does. It absorbs the liquid. So it's going to absorb it, and it's going to take the watercolor away from those spots, and then it's going to add a little it's going to look sort of snowy in the background. So that's the technique that it's going to do. It's going to have that effect. You can't really see it until it's completely dried. So at the end of the video, I'll show you a picture of what it looks like when it's dry. It looks really cool and kind of crackly in the background. Depending on what kind of paper you use, this technique might work better than other papers. So if you have a paper that really soaks in your watercolor pretty quickly, this technique might not work as well. It's sort of an experimentation, so you can kind of play around with it, and if it doesn't work super well, then that's okay, you gave it a shot, right? And then just know that maybe it might be because of the paper that you used, or maybe your watercolor was just not wet enough for it to work. But you have to kind of let it dry, and then once it's completely dry, then you can shake off the extra salt. All right, well, I cannot wait to see your cozy cats and find out what designs you're gonna put on your scarf. Remember, think of something fun. Maybe it's a scarf you own, or maybe you can design your own idea. And then what are you going to put in your cat's hands that is cozy? What makes you feel cozy? Is it a cup of some hot drink, or a book, or a heart, or a blanket, or something completely different? Maybe a cool little stuffed animal. I can't wait to see. Post your finished pictures to Seesaw. Have fun.